Well, gang, this right here is going to be a later night posting. Obviously, it's going to take a little while to get this video squared away, but as you guys can see, the flashlight here is giving me a little bit more of an orange tint because, well,
gotten word former President Donald Trump has been indicted by a grand jury in New York. Trump was under investigation by the DA's office for his alleged hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign. So as we await more information, Fox News has just learned this from two law enforcement sources that Trump has been.
That is correct. They are indicting former President Trump, even though they are indicting him on a case that falls 2 years outside the statute of limitations, a case that I have been talking about for a little over 2 weeks now. Yeah, it's really, really weird, too, especially given the fact that all the DeSantis pages on Twitter are really loving the idea that he got indicted. However, I wonder, is it possible that DeSantis may get an opportunity to kind of, I don't know, maybe like redo that little spiel that he gave a couple weeks ago where he was actually 3 days late, and of course it actually tanked him in the polls. I'm just a little bit curious about that. Of course, one of those dissents being John Cardillo, who has posted on multiple occasions today. Of course, he is backtracking at this moment in time that Donald Trump actually faked his supporters into donations when in reality the only thing Trump did was kind of call their bluff. But as you guys are seeing right now, the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is going through with the indictment. Wow, if you really and truly wanted to commit political suicide, you've got two separate factions that did that, the Democratic Party and, of course, the DeSantis 2024 crowd. Now, I know somebody in the comment section may come over here and they may say something like, well, Claymore, dude, well, what about the liberals? What about the liberals? The liberals and the Democratic Party, they have been trying to prosecute this guy for years, and that also includes rhinos, some of which, by the way, I just showed you guys some tweets of. I forgot about Bill Mitchell. We're calling him Shill Mitchell. He's out here basically saying that it could be another rumor, but then again, at the same time, though, they were saying it was a rumor 2 weeks ago, and then they went out there and they said that Donald Trump, he did this right here because Donald Trump is, he's playing his supporters to get money and stuff. Okay, that right there, for the most part, just straight up got turned on its head just now. So I guess these people's fading credibility has just officially died. The thing about the liberals is this right here. They don't seem to understand that that's not exactly how indictments or arrests work. You see, you indict somebody, as I may have said already, you can probably indict a ham sandwich for all the hell you want to. But the mere fact that it's 2 years outside the statute of limitations means that the minute it goes on appeal, which, by the way, would probably go to appeal very fast because he's a former president of the United States, the appeals court would more than likely just kick this down and say this was absolutely freaking stupid. Meanwhile, the former president will just continue to garner more support, more money from small-time donors, and what will happen is that he will launch his campaign in 2024 as the martyred president, meaning also the martyred political figure. It's never a good idea to prosecute political opponents. It is complete, total political malpractice. And as I have said before, that the people running this country are not exactly what we call competent. I have a video out tomorrow on the Restrict Act, which, by the way, is prompting me to go back and edit a certain portion of it because even with almost pure certainty that something will pass, these people will find a way to bungle it anyways. These aren't exactly what we call competent people. When the prosecutor is going after you strictly on anger and strictly to satisfy a certain portion of their base, these are the type of results that you are going to get. So you'll hear me say it again towards the end of the video. Thank you. You just gave Donald Trump the presidency in 2024, regardless of what you may think. And also something else, too. When Trump does eventually walk outside and he's still on the campaign trail and their voters are saying, well, look, I thought we arrested him. I thought we locked him up. And the next thing you know, he's showing up on election night, he's still voted on, and people stay home from the left, mostly due to their own ignorance, mostly due to their own false sense of security, false sense of reality. And when they realize that they, quite frankly, have been getting lied to for a while, this is probably going to create an issue for these people going forward. And of course, the memes are out there, the thug life memes, the teardrops. Some of these are absolutely hilarious. But then again, at the same time, though, I'm guessing we've had about 2 or 3 weeks to actually prep for this. Now, guys, I'm going to talk about the political ramifications and why this is absolutely stupid here in a second, especially given the fact that some of us have done multiple videos on this. Don't worry. I will leave them in the description box of this video here. But the fact of the matter is that you'll hear me say this over and over again. Political malpractice. Not only is this political malpractice, but this is also further proof of a constitutional crisis. If you go out of your way to persecute a potential political opponent, the only thing it is going to do is embolden that support base, and it's only going to make the people who live in the country, regardless of how you may feel or how they may feel, it's only going to make them hate you because you just put every single one of them on a wall, if you guys are kind of picking up on what I'm saying. This right here is a constitutional crisis, is what the hell this is, okay? You like I said, you know, and you're going to hear me say it a lot, you can indict wherever the hell you want, but the fact of the matter is that it's 2 years outside the statute of limitations for felony. You're going to hear me say that over and over and over again in this video here. We've already went through this on several occasions. What you are doing is you are telling the people of the United States of America that you would prefer to lock them up rather than let them be your political opponent. Now, look, there was a point in time in this country where we could actually disagree with things, disagree about stuff, and still have a relatively good life living with one another. Right now, the only thing you're doing is just completely fomenting the range, especially with everything that's going on with the T community and shootings and whatnot, seeing how it is that they want to go out there and shoot kids and stuff. By the way, the Daily Mail released a poll on that yesterday of how it is that people are turning on that. The only thing you're doing is just making the political and how do I say the political differences and divide. The only thing you're doing is just making it 10 times worse. And of course, we've got people on our own side like Cardillo to thank for that, or Sheil Mitchell to thank for that. Yeah. Good going, guys. Way to go ahead and incense the base before something like this ever happened. I mean, dude, it's almost like it was, I don't know. You know, I'm just not going to say that. We're just going to go on to the next part. Never mind all the gear that is being sold at some of these rallies. Never mind the fact that right now there is a video going viral of him kicking a Trump supporter out of one of his actual events. But don't worry, we'll probably get to that at a later video. This right here is political malpractice, the likes I think I have never seen in my life. So the wokes, of course, are so hell-bent and determined to keep this guy from running in 2024 that they basically ensured his nomination. Of course, you've got a lot of personalities out there who are, in fact, saying, look, you know, he just won 2024, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves, even though I personally believe he just did. The thing is this right here, when you do political persecution and political indictments for somebody who's not been president for a while, political opponents, especially in this time frame when we just had a mass shooting in which the trans community is up in arms, screaming that they want blood, and of course you've got a White House press secretary who, after... Very, very insensitive, by the way.
Our hearts go out to the trans community as they are under attack right now.
Yeah, she just openly simped for the active shooter and not the victims of the ordeal. Yes, this right here is the these right here are not exactly what we call very good optics. It's not just political malpractice; it's actual constitutional malpractice. Now, the dissents, we can save them for another video. Obviously, Pedro Gomez or Pedro Gonzalez, wherever the hell that former Bernie Bros name is, he can wait for a later date. The fact that these people right here peddling the whole nonsense that the former president was in fact using to fundraise is a load of crap, especially given Ron DeSantis' donor list. I don't even think I really and truly want to mention these people. We'll save that for another day. Now is not the time to divide anybody. This right here is a time to actually unify, and this is a time to actually use some common sense. It may be possible that maybe they decided to do this indictment after everybody basically went home from the possible protests, and maybe what they're trying to do is maybe get one last potential effort at another 6-1. Obviously, we can't say the real thing here, or else the video will get docked. However, I will go ahead and tell you right now that this right here will not be pretty. This right here will, in fact, get ugly as the more and more you try to like push down or push harder, the worse things get. The more and more you stir the crap, the more and more it stinks. I'm pretty sure you guys are getting my gist. You were trying to indict a guy over a case that occurred back in late 2016 that you had to actually elevate from a misdemeanor to a felony, which at the same exact time falls 2 years outside the statute of limitations in the state of New York. So what happens from here? Well, I'm pretty sure that assuming that the governor of Florida decides to actually follow the law and actually protect a fellow Floridian, which, by the way, would be the smart thing for him to do, not just politically, because, quite frankly, it is the right thing to do, and, quite frankly, he is obligated to do it. I am assuming that he will do the right thing here and actually do that, but then again, though, at the same time, though, it wouldn't surprise me if they chose not to do it and then turned right back around and then said, no, I could not do that. Then out of the middle of nowhere, somebody named Vivek Ramaswamy, who's actually been calling attention to this, may just rise out of the ashes, completely bypassing this. So trust me when I say that the Simps are not entirely happy. But like I said, we'll be more detailed with them at a later date. Fact of the matter is that this right here was very dumb on the part of the New York City District Attorney Alvin Bragg. It was very dumb on the part of the Department of Justice. If anything, what's probably going to happen is that in a couple of weeks, this entire ordeal is going to get tossed out. And as I've had to say on multiple occasions, think back to what I was bringing up in the last video about what Sticks Hexenhammer said. What are you going to do? You arrest him? What are you going to do? You're going to put the Secret Service in the cell next to him? Let's say that you do, in fact, indict him, and of course you get the New York City jury to actually lock him up or anything. What are you going to do? You're going to build a specialty prison just for him? President of the United States. He is, in fact, not only the President of the United States, but he's kind of afforded Secret Service protection for the rest of his life. So good luck with that. At the end of the day, he ultimately ends up paying a fine if it does go that far. Fact of the matter is, you guys just went full-blown retard, and quite frankly, we are here to see the reactions and responses of what happens when this entire thing completely backfires. Thank you guys once again for giving Donald Trump 2024 on a silver platter, or the next Republican in line 2024 on a silver freaking platter. And trust me, if that Republican is not Donald Trump that wins in 2024, it definitely won't be Ron DeSantis after this right here. Guys, if you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video stuff in the comment section. I would love to get you guys' thoughts. This video will be out late tonight, and I'll see you guys later.